Hey guys, in this video, we're taking a deep dive analysis into stock market and option trading versus real estate investments and why I think option trading literally makes a lot more sense than real estate investments. I'm going to be comparing the returns and the results and the benefits and actually some of the disadvantages of option trading as well. So this is going to be an awesome video. I'm going to be using some real analytics. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel, smash the like button, and let's jump into the video. So as you can see right here, the average ROI in the US real estate market is about 8.6% annually according to the S&P 500. Now investment strategies affect the return on investment, and obviously there's different types of strategies. There's rental real estate, there's residential, there's commercial. But even looking at residential properties, they are 10.6%, and REITs are 9.5%. Residential properties generate an average annual return of 10.6%, while commercial properties average 9.5%, and REITs are 11.8%. So now I want to quickly look at this article, which is real estate versus stock market, which is a better investment option, okay? So let's start with the benefits. And a lot of you guys already have residential real estate. A lot of my students are owning properties and renting them out. So the first thing is the power of compounding. Obviously, rental properties appreciate in value, the house itself, plus you're getting rent, and every single year you can raise the rent. However, you can basically do the same thing with option trading, and you can do the same thing with stock market investing. Every single year, the dividends are going up, companies are raising their dividends, and you also get appreciation of the stock itself. So for example, I'm up, $33,000 in the past week. Now, the next thing is with real estate, you do have to monitor and basically make sure that your rental properties are in good shape, that the tenants keep paying. A lot of people have property managers, but the thing is when you have a property manager, you have to give a cut of your profits to the property manager. So your return goes down. So from, the 10.6%, maybe it's only 9.6% right now if you have a property manager. So either way in real estate, either you are having a lower return or you're managing the property yourself, which is work, okay? And for me, I like to have freedom and flexibility to travel and not be location dependent in one location. That's what real estate usually does, because you have to be around your real estate if you're managing it yourself. Or even if you have a property manager, you still have to manage the property manager. Now with option trading, a lot of people think that's a very active source of income, but that could be farther from the truth. For me, I have made the $32,000 or whatever with only, working about 30 minutes to 1 hour per week. So what I'm doing is I'm opening positions like covered calls, I'm opening positions like sell puts, and I'm not actually managing my positions very tightly. A lot of people think that I'm day trading. No, I'm actually selling weekly options. And if I did my job correctly on my Monday live session or my Wednesday live session, then on Friday, this position is basically expiring. And let me tell you, for me, the most important thing is how I get into a position, because if I jump into an option position correctly, I look at technical analysis, I pick a high quality company. I'm always looking at, companies like Apple and Google. Those are my top two plays right now. If I'm jumping into that position correctly, there's really not that much I need to do, because when I open up a covered call, I just leave it alone. Now, I can also do monthly expiration. So that is very similar to real estate, because with real estate, when you rent out a property, you're getting paid per month. You can do the same exact thing with option trading. You can actually just open up a position in one trade and have it 1 month up until expiration. So you can actually have a very similar experience with option trading and real estate. However, I think that option trading is better because here your tenant can have issues, you can have leaks, your roof could have issues, right? There's also lots of paperwork with real estate. Now there's also benefits that we're going to talk about in just a moment, but there is a little bit more work. It's not very passive as an investment. Option trading also isn't truly passive, because nothing in life is passive, like you don't do any work. But it's basically only 10 to 15 minutes where you can open up a position and then have it expire in 1 month. Now, the next thing is capital investment and affordability. So a lot of people can't actually afford rental real estate, even if you use FHA loans. I mean, all that's cool. I know you can put very little down in real estate, but the beauty is with option trading or the stock market, you can truly start with $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. I cannot say the same with rental real estate. You have to have in most cases, 20% down. And typically you have to have a lot more capital to get into real estate game, versus option trading, you just can start with a very small portfolio and scale it up. So for the affordability factor, rental real estate is not as good as option trading, because you can start option trading with any amount of money. With rental real estate, you have to have a certain sum of money. And also there is transactions. So it does take time to obviously purchase a property. And then when you purchase it, unless you have a rental real estate license yourself, you still have to hire someone. So they're going to cost you a transaction fee. So real estate has fees when you get in and fees when you get out. Yes, the property goes up in value and there's also tax benefits, but there's a 1 or 3% fee when you're buying a property as well as when you're selling it. versus trading, it is less tax advantaged. So yes, you are paying taxes unless you are holding stocks and options for 1 year, which by the way, you can do. What you can do with the covered call is you can continue to roll it out until it's been 1 year. And in that case, that would be a long-term capital gains tax. So in my opinion, you can also do very well with option trading and make it less tax burden. But with real estate, you do have transaction costs that are far more than option trading and stock market investing. Now let's talk about liquidity. So obviously real estate has low liquidity because selling a property can take months or years depending on various factors such as location, market conditions, legal requirements, and negotiations. So you don't always get what you want for your, real estate property. Maybe you list it for $450K, but there's only one buyer and he wants it for $425,000. So it does take time to sell a property. Whereas with option trading, you have a lot of liquidity. So for example, if you're going after the top stocks, which I always recommend, I don't go for penny stocks. In fact, I don't even look at stocks that have under a $5 billion market cap. So if you're looking at stocks that have high liquidity, right, their volume is very healthy. They have volume that's, in the hundreds, right? I mean, Apple, and what I mean by hundreds of volume is the options have hundreds of volume. Obviously, the stock itself has like millions of shares being traded per day. But if you look at stocks like Apple, you can get liquidity like this in like just a second. Even lower cap stocks, right, in the $20 billion market cap range, they still have really good volume. So you can get in and out of the stock market and option trading really quickly, which for me is amazing. I mean, not that I need the money right now, right, but it's good peace of mind for me to know that if I need the money, I don't know, if I were to buy a real estate property, which I'm not going to do, so I don't think I'm going to need the money ever, I'll just use my portfolio as cash flow. I'm never probably going to sell it because I don't have any big purchases in my life. For me, I like to rent everything because we don't own anything. We don't even own our relationships or our wives and our husbands. They could leave us, right? So we don't really own anything in this life. We rent everything, including our lives. Every single day we wake up, we're paying rent. We have to, keep our health in order. We have to, keep breathing, all that stuff, right? We don't own anything. So for me, I don't want to own real estate property because that takes away from my freedom. It takes away from my ability to travel where I want to travel. It takes my peace of mind away because I either have to manage a property manager or I have to do extra work. So for option trading, the cash flow that I'm making far exceeds and makes more sense to me than having a more active investment in real estate. And one of those big factors is liquidity. I can liquidate my option portfolio anytime that I wish, and I can withdraw all of it and do anything with it. Whereas a real estate property, yes, there are other things that you can do. You can borrow against the value of your house. You can take a line of credit, etc. But still, there's kind of a bit of work there. So you have to weigh your options. Now let's talk about tax benefits a little bit. So real estate investments offer several tax benefits such as mortgage interest deductions, property tax deductions, and depreciation. So I think you can depreciate a mortgage over 27 and a half years. I was studying a little bit of mortgages back when I was in college. So the stock market also has tax benefits such as capital gains tax. Again, long-term capital gains tax is going to be about 20% versus, if you're looking at short-term capital gains tax, it's really your tax bracket. So if you're living in California or you're living in a high tax area, you're going to be paying taxes at your ordinary tax bracket. So for example, let's say that your tax bracket in New York is about 35%. So whenever you make $100,000 option trading, you're going to be paying 35% of that in taxes. Whereas with real estate, you can pay a lot less because there's depreciation, there's mortgage deductions, etc. However, let's talk about the most important factor of all. I can't believe I waited this long. With mortgages in real estate, it's 10.6%. My portfolio literally does around 1% a week, okay? So when you look at that, that's like 48% per year, roughly, give or take. Last year, I had a tough year. I made like less than 30%. But the year before that, I had a 59% return. The year before that, I had a 700% return. And the year before that, I had like a 10x, okay? So I was dealing with smaller amounts of money. I was taking on higher risk. I was using a little bit of buying strategies, but the math speaks for itself. Even in my worst year, which is my last year, I've probably made a little bit of mistakes, but I had very low volatility. I will say I had the lowest volatility. My portfolio was just literally like a staircase going up, which is like basically collecting rent every single week, every single month. So even in my worst year, I still doubled real estate returns. All right, so check this out, guys. I made $33,000 in the past week. I have a $1.829 million portfolio. And what I'm doing is basically just simple strategies. I actually don't have that many positions right now because it has been so complicated with the market going up. I did not expect NVIDIA to rise so much. I didn't expect Meta to rise so much. I've just mainly been in Palantir, Apple, Amazon, and yeah, those are my top three positions right now. Palantir, Apple, Amazon, all right, as well as Starbucks. I also have some Target and Walmart here, but I did miss out quite a bit on NVIDIA, and I also missed out a little bit on Meta. For me, that's fine. I can't catch them all. I'm not going to be able to predict the market at all times. For me, taking a look at just Apple and Amazon, I think that they're going to continue to outperform and do very well. In fact, also, I really want to get into Google. I just don't really have enough cash. Well, my buying power says $775,000 right now, but that is margin. I am fully invested. I will be selling some options on margin. I do love to do that. That is a little bit more advanced strategy that to be honest, I don't even cover that in my Discord community. I talk about margin trading, but I tell people you want to be in the Discord community for 3 to 6 months before you even start margin trading. And then I just personally tell people individually how margin trading works, because it can be very risky, but it can also add free money to your account. You can literally make like 0.5% to 1% of free money, no interest charges. So if you think about it that way, you can far beat real estate. I mean, you can beat real estate by leaps and bounds and miles. So when I take a look at my two favorite stocks, Apple and Google, which I don't have any Google at the moment, I do have some Google in my other portfolio, and including my Roth IRA. I started a Roth IRA a very long time ago with $6,000, and it's like over $70,000 now. So my Roth IRA has blown it out the water, and Google is one of my top positions in my Roth IRA. But taking a look at Google and Apple, they both make a lot of sense right now, because if you look at the valuation of other, tech companies, I don't really think they make sense. Like the PE ratio is super high on NVIDIA. I know it's growing really quickly. I get it. They're like supplying AI chips and Microsoft's a big customer, but still, I'm more of a value investor. So I'm more of a value investor that likes to create income on my stocks. So I can't really lose that way, because value stocks fare better than the overall market. Then growth stocks perform better. And I do have growth stocks as well, but I prefer to be more of a, towards a value investor, because that way I can get those real estate returns. That's why I made the title of this video, Real Estate or Option Trading, is because I want my option portfolio to act as real estate. I don't want to be invested in real estate, even though I'm here in Dubai and it's like, real estate's growing and everyone's like moving here and it's really, really safe, also really expensive. Everyone talks about buying real estate. I don't want to own any real estate. I just don't want to have the hassle of anybody texting me or messaging me. My personal time is super important, and I'm basically sort of retired. I want to focus on myself, not have things to manage. So for me, having an option portfolio that functions very similar to real estate, where I'm just selling covered calls, selling puts, running the wheel strategy, all things that I talk about on this channel that you can watch just by typing in Invest with Henry wheel strategy or whatever. My playlist, I'll leave it somewhere description or end of this video. I would rather do that all day. So I personally own no real estate. I don't really ever plan to own any real estate. I just want to keep chugging along with my option portfolio and just keep growing this thing. So if you own any real estate, make your life more simple. I would say sell it. Just my personal opinion, just go all in on option trading. But I'm actually telling you what I'm personally doing. I have more than 100% of my net worth in option trading. I have 2 portfolios, everything's in option trading, and my bank account is basically zero, and I just use credit cards and pay for the credit cards with cash flow from option trading. And for me, even though let's say in like a month I'm making, it depends. Some months I have 2%, some months I have 4%. My small portfolios, for my students, they have 10%. It just depends, because it depends how much risk you take. I'm making anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000. So for me, that's way better than owning a bunch of properties, which would net me about the same amount of money. So, if this video is valuable, leave a like, leave a comment. I'm very curious what you think about this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.